Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome to 9.4. We're going back to factoring. So hopefully Texas method hasn't left your brain. Okay, but let's get started here. We're on a time limit. How do we multiply and divide rational expressions? And we can apply them to real life expectations as well. Let's pull out a GCF at the top here of x. So this is 5x squared plus 2. On bottom, we're going to pull out an x here. So we're left with 3x plus 1. The only thing that we can simplify here is the x's. Now, as far as what's in parentheses, they need to match identically because of the addition, and they do not, so this is pretty much where you would stop. 5x squared plus 2 all over 3x plus 1. Don't even bother breaking it apart because it's not going to happen. Going over here to 2, all we have to do is factor the bottom here, keep the top as is. Don't multiply in. Well, we're simplifying. We want to keep things pulled apart. So don't distribute the 3 in there. As far as the x squared minus 5x plus 6, minus plus is minus minus. 3 times 2 is 6, and 3 plus 2 is 5. So here we go. X minus 3's match up, leaving us with 3 over x minus 2. So notice when they match entirely inside parentheses, that's when you can cancel them out with that plus or minus. Let's jump over to number 3 here, GCF of x. That leaves me with x squared minus 1. On bottom here, I'm going to pull out an x, which leaves me with x squared minus 8x plus 7. At this point, we are still going to have to factor down the numerator, but I can cancel out my x's a while. So I'm going to get x plus 1, x minus 1. That's a conjugate up top. Be careful, that's a special situation. Down here, we're going to have x minus and x minus. So two numbers that multiply to be 7 add up to 8. So 1 times 7 is 7, and 1 plus 7 is 8. The x minus 1's match up. Now we're just left with x plus 1 all over x minus 7. And there's our happy. So first 3 are in the books. Let's keep this party going, and let's jump down to the next 3. Okay, so check that. We'll do 2 at a time, I guess. Before I multiply, I'm actually going to factor. So straight across, this is going to be 3x. X plus 3, x minus 3 is at x squared minus 9. So that's what I just factored here. I factored this guy to be here. Across the bottom, pull a GCF out of here. So this is going to be a 4. We rewrite this x here, and this is going to be basically x minus 3. Okay, so I divided these by 4, and you can see that that's going to be x minus 3, and the 4 went out in front. This x I put out in front. So what can cancel out here? Well, the x minus 3's match up. That's nice. And the x's match up. So this is just going to be 3 over 4, and the top's going to have that extra x plus 3. That is simplified completely. All right, coming across to 2. So I'm going to pull out a GCF here of 3. I'm going to rewrite the x there. So when I pull 3 out of this, I'm going to be left with x minus 6. Across the bottom, 1 times anything is basically this, so I can forget about this 1. I'm going to factor x minus 7x plus 6. So this is x minus minus because minus plus is minus minus. 6 times 1 is 6. 6 plus 1 is 7. The x minus 6's cancel out, leaving you with 3x over x minus 1. I cannot cancel out that x with the x on bottom because of the x minus 1. So if it helps you to keep it in parentheses, by all means keep that addition and subtraction in parentheses. So again, first 2 here in this section are finished. Let's go ahead and jump to 3 and 4. All right, so I'm going to go back to purple here. Okay, across the top, I'm going to keep x cubed out front, and I'm going to factor this guy here. So this is x and x plus minus, because this is plus minus. Numbers I multiply to be 24, just going through them until I can find the one I want. There it is, 3 and 8. The only thing left there was 4 and 6. 3 and 8 have a difference of 5. So I want the 5x to be positive, so that 8 will go there, 3 will go here. Let's go to the bottom. I'm going to pull a GCF of 3 out. Okay, so that's going to leave me with x minus 3. I'm going to pull a GCF out of x squared down here. So I have my x squared pulled out. What's left is x plus 8. Oh, isn't that nice? X minus 8's match up. X minus 3 and x minus 3 match up. And then I have x cubed over 3x squared. Well, remember, x is on top and bottom. X is larger on top. 3 minus 2 is 1. So it's x over 3 when it's all said and done. I am finished at that point. Coming over to 4. Okay, I cannot factor 16x to the 4th. I leave that as is. And I'm going to factor this part here. So that's x and x, plus and minus. And when two numbers are multiplied to be 10, I have a difference of 3. So that's 5 and 2. 5 times 2 is 10. 5 minus 2 is 3. Across the bottom, I have 8x to the 6th. I'm going to write that first. And I have x plus 5. Keep it in parentheses. Do not distribute this in. Again, that's counterproductive. Keep it separate. X plus 5's cancel out. So the x minus 2 has no friends. He comes down. What's 16 divided by 8? You should say 2. And then x is larger on bottom, so I need to put an x on bottom. 6 minus 4 is 2. Okay? Remember, I can't cancel this x out here with this x squared because x minus 2 is a bundle deal. It's a package deal. Kind of like you and your best friend. People have to accept both of you. So, this page is finished. Here are the next 4. We're going to simplify the expression so nothing changes other than now we're dealing with division. So to do this guy, remember, we keep this. We're going to change division to multiplication, and then you flip the last thing. So when we do this, we can cross cancel. We can actually multiply. Whatever you want to do here, you may do. What I'm going to do is I'm going to simplify right now, so we're going to avoid large numbers. So 6 divided by 6 is 1. 30 divided by 6 is 5. Okay? This x to the 1 cancels out one of these x's, so this is now x squared. So going across, 5 times 5 is 25. 1 times 1 is 1. X squared gets rewritten. Y to the 11th gets written. Add the exponents when you multiply. Going to 2, remember, keep 16 over x cubed, y to the 12th, times, change it, and now I'm flipping, 3x y to the 5th, over 4. Okay? Oh, I can see 4 divided by 4 is 1, 16 divided by 4 is 4. So I basically have 4 times 3, which is 12. X and x will cancel out. This x is 5 by, 3 becomes 2. So really all I have on bottom here is x squared. I have y to the 12th, y to the 5th. So y to the 5th loses. Y to the 7th is left on bottom. And there's number 2. All right. Shifting down to 3. Again, I have 1 over. Oh, I have a GCF I can pull out. So I have 3 times quantity x plus 5 times GCF of this is x plus 5 then is left. I pull 2 out. X is on bottom. So I flipped this guy and I pulled out a GCF of 2 there. So you can see these x plus 5s cross cancel, leaving you with 2 over 3x. And that guy is finished. And last but not least, here we go. We got x plus 5 on top. On bottom, x squared minus 9 is x plus 3, x minus 3. I still have x plus 3 on top. And I'm going to have 3 as my GCF times x plus 5 on bottom. X plus 5's match up. X plus 3's match up. So really I have 1 over 3 times x minus 3. Those people who like to factor, this is right up your alley, this section. Right? So I'm going to jump down to 5 and 6. And then we got 7 and 8, 9, 10, and that is it. So we got 6 problems left. I got 6 minutes to do it. So I got to hustle a little bit. GCF of 2 here, so this is 2x minus 3. keep your 4x down below, times 1 over 2x minus 3. So that's nice. Those cancel out. Notice 2 over 4 can reduce. This is basically, this is a half. So this is 1 over 2x. On this side, x minus 7 can't reduce that over 4. Guess I can change colors here. X minus 7 over 4 times 1 over, GCF. This one has a negative 2 I want to pull out. So x becomes positive, 14 becomes negative 7. So distribute that back in and make sure you did it correct. Negative 2x, yeah, negative 14, positive 14, yeah, we're good. And it looks like the x minus 7s are perfect matches for one another. All I have is one up top over negative 8. Okay. Coming down here, conjugates. X plus 5, x minus 5. X plus 7 stays as is. Change division multiplication. I'm going to flip this. This is 1 over x plus 7, x minus 5. So I factored x squared plus 2x minus 35. So x minus 5 cancels out with this x minus 5. So across the top, looks like we have x plus 5 finds lonesome. And on bottom, we have a pair of friends, don't we? We have x plus 7 times x plus 7. And you can also write it as x plus 7 squared. I wrote it like that to save space. If you wrote it out as x plus 7 times x plus 7, I would still be happy and dandy to take that. Over here, I'm going to factor this guy. So this is x minus 3. Oh, it's not x minus 3, is it? Rookie. X minus 6 times x plus 1 over 1 times 7 over GCF of 3x out of these. Leaves me with x plus 7. So what we're going to end up doing here is not really canceling out anything, are we? Nothing seems to match up. Well, I can't fight it. It is what it is. This is 7 times x minus 6 times x plus 1 all over 3x and x plus 7. So nothing simplified there. I just basically had to write it as one fraction. What a shame. Okay, so that's that. All right, and let's keep rolling. 2 more to go, and these are the long ones. Slow and steady wins the race as usual. Just too bad I can't go slow. So this is x minus 5 over 1 times x plus 3 times x plus 4. Now I'm going to take care of this one. This is x. This is x minus plus is minus minus, so I have 5 and 6. I'm just going to keep this as x minus 6 at this point. Okay. So what cancels out? These two cancel out. I'm good to go. So really I'm looking at x plus 3, x plus 4 over x minus 6 times 1 over, I have to flip this, x minus 6. So when this is said and done, 1 times x plus 3, x plus 4 is just that. And on the bottom, I have x minus 6 to the second, because there's 2 of them. That is that. All right. Over here, GCF of x, this is x plus 11 over x minus 2. Keep her as is. I'm going to flip this guy and pull out a GCF. So that's 1 over 3x, and that's x plus 2. Okay? So right now, nothing really cancels out. The only thing I can really do is cancel this x out with this x. Other than that, I'm still good. Now the last thing I want to do is factor this. This is x plus 2, x minus 2 over x plus 11. So let's see what matches up. Ooh, long distance. X plus 11s match up. X plus 2 with x plus 2. X minus 2 with x minus 2. So really what I have left on top is absolutely nothing. So that's 1 over. The only thing left here is this guy, 1/3. That's a great problem. All right, guys, that's it for section 4. Hope you had fun factoring. Plenty of practice to be had. Practice makes perfect. Just make sure you're practicing.